All right. All right. How do I sound?
You sound fine.
All right. Just want to be sure. All right, people. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, 9:06 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. And welcome to another episode of The Experience. I am Drew, and joining me, as always, is...
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
Yes, sir. And yeah, we have a wrestling pack show tonight because we had a busy weekend down under in Australia. Friday was for Friday Night SmackDown and also the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which occurred over the weekend on Saturday, as well as Raw. Then we came back to the States in NXT. Well, NXT is always in Florida, but you know what I mean. And then, of course, Bound for Glory. And one little news tidbit involves some releases. And I believe that's about it. But, I don't know. We haven't done this in a while, Justin. What's something you want to talk about?
I didn't prepare for the show, so I don't know.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, like I said, I just got home maybe about 5-6 minutes ago, or actually about 10 minutes ago now. So I didn't get to prepare for the show. So I was kind of hoping you kind of lead the reins here tonight.
yeah, I can do that. I do have something to talk about. It's not wrestling related. It's actually basketball related. Um, the NBA preseason has started. I know it's the preseason, but I'm happy for our Spurs. Our Spurs are undefeated so far. Um, Wemby's doing Wemby things. The new rookie, Dylan Harper, he's actually doing a really good job. He's playing, good. He had a really good game last game. I think this could be Castle's breakout year. He might even win Most Improved, or he could be a candidate for Most Improved. You never know. And the new big guy, Cornette, he and Wemby seem to be gelling. They look like they have really good chemistry, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really loving it. I'm really loving this new Spurs team so far. Where they go in the regular season, I would say I can see them making the playoffs, maybe like a 6th or 7th seed if they can stay healthy. I know Fox, he's gonna be missing some time, so you'll get to see the new guy Harper, play more. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of what I want to talk about. It's pretty short. It's non-wrestling related. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about the Spurs?
No, it's just preseason. I like what I see so far. I mean, but it's preseason.
Okay. And just on a side note, so last week I brought up the possibility of doing a basketball podcast. Friend Anthony, who I've known since kindergarten.
Yeah.
Next week, and we don't have a date picked out yet. We are gonna do our Spurs basketball podcast.
Oh,
It's gonna be called the Silver and Black Experience, and it's not gonna be live. It's gonna be pre-recorded, and it's gonna be just once a week. Preferably the end of the week, where we just talk about the week of Spurs basketball and also the rest of the league, some league news, some interesting debates. But yeah, next week, look out for it. Silver and Black Experience, starring yours truly and my friend Anthony. So I can't wait for
Are
that.
y'all doing it like here on Discord, or like how y'all doing it?
Well, it's not live. As far as I know, we're not going to go live. It's just going to be pre-recorded. But I'll have to talk to him about that.
Go live. I mean, you never know. You might get a new audience.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that's something I'll have to talk to him about.
I mean, it doesn't hurt,
No, you're not wrong. I'm not opposed to it, but it's one I'll have to talk to him about, see how he feels. But yeah, that is the news on that. Let's get the show started, shall we? So the week of wrestling in Australia started on Friday with SmackDown, which was in Perth, Australia, and it was the SmackDown before Crown Jewel. That too, kind of like Crown Jewel and Raw, was at 7 in the morning here, 8 in the morning if you lived in the East. For the most part, like I said, the biggest stuff out of that show was Nakamura coming back, answer Sami Zayn's challenge, and it was a pretty big moment because we haven't seen Nakamura in a while. We haven't heard his theme in a while. It kind of was reminiscent of Takeover from 2016 with Nakamura and Sami Zayn, which is one of the biggest matches probably in Takeover history. And a great debut by Nakamura, but the match ended up in the match got thrown out essentially because the MFT came out, and you saw Tama Tonga return and everyone else, and they were dressed up. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the face paint they were wearing, that's the face paint they wore in like New Japan, right?
Yes, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, yes.
Okay, so it's nice seeing them back. And then later in the night, after the main event with White Six and Street Profits, who Street Profits actually came back with their old theme. So, and that's another thing. A lot of WWE wrestlers are pushing to either change their theme or get their old themes back, partially due to Def Rebel. Their contracts are expiring with WWE. WWE's
allegedly, but it seems to be going that way.
And the news is that WWE is looking to look for outside artists to do themes. So that's good. Because themes really they can really make or break somebody. Because
Absolutely, for sure.
Not to say that there are some good Def Rebel songs, but the rest are just like for example, like whenever I watch the Rumble, when I hear someone's theme, I'm like, who is this again? Oh, that's so and so. Oh, really? That's their theme? So yeah, themes really do make or break somebody. But I mean,
I agree, and Dead Rebel, like, they had like 30% of their themes were good, the other 70 was not. I got on Twitter. Well, I've been off Twitter for a little bit, but I got on Twitter. I happened to be on Twitter like yesterday, and I think that's when I saw the news of it, and there were some people on there. I mean, yeah, I don't like Death Rebel, but people were like, oh man, they should be dead instead, instead of making music. I'm like, it's a little bit too far. Like, all right, like, we don't like their things, but man, I don't want to wish death upon people. Like, it's not that serious.
It's not. But like I'm very much of the ilk of like, I don't wish anything bad to happen to anyone. But yeah, fuck Def Rebel on their music, but not them as people. I'm sure they're nice people. Okay, never mind.
You know what? They're probably thinking they're doing their best. They're thinking like, oh man, we made a good theme, but like how dejecting that must be to them. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I don't think anyone sets out to do a bad job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it just didn't work. It just hasn't worked out for them as far as like making good wrestling themes. But I mean, maybe they'll venture onto something else and do a better job in another field. But yeah, I just don't think they just don't get or understand wrestling in its entirety.
Yeah, true, very true. Going back to SmackDown. The main event, I believe was the main event the White Six or... Oh, no. So, yeah, Damian Priest versus Aleister Black.
Black, yeah.
Which I believe was a last man standing match. And good match. Fun match. I'm Aleister Black being treated more like a big deal. Damian
came out with his AEW goat.
Yes. I love the goat horns. I had that shirt. Bought that shirt from Spinebuster Tees. At Wonderland Mall of America's people, and great shirt. So I do love that he came out with that. Damian Priest seems lost. Like, I don't really know what's missing with Damian Priest. It almost seems like whenever he left the Judgment Day, that's when it kind of...
He turned babyface. That's what happened.
True. Very true.
He turned babyface.
So you think he's better? He's much better.
No one cares about him as a babyface.
So you think he's much better as a heel?
He's more interesting.
No, I'm agreeing with you. When he was with the Judgment Day and they were all heels, with aside from Rhea's still a fuck. Like there's no doubt about that. Damien, I think, needs people around him, and like you said, he's much more interesting as a heel. Him being by himself and trying to be the cool rock star guy is just it's not clicking the way we thought it would. So I like Damien. I want it to work out with Damien. So we'll see what works out with that. But like the big highlight of the match was Zelina Vega, who's Aleister Black's wife in reality. She came out and aided Aleister Black. She gave him a fireball to throw in Damian Priest's face, and in the end, her and Aleister, her man, stood side by side. So they're putting Zelina with Aleister, which is good, because it's like, well, it's about time. And I've always said about Zelina, not a terrible wrestler, but she's much better as a valet. That's where she works better as. She worked better as a valet with Andrade, and Aleister are going to be. I mean, they're already married, so clearly they're going to work out. But like, they're going to be fucking cool as fuck together. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts on that.
Nope, you covered it pretty thoroughly.
But that was SmackDown. The SmackDown before Crown Jewel. So let's head into Crown Jewel, which was the very next day at 7 in the morning, which I watched while I was at work. I just put it on while I was working. Luckily, it was a slow day. Perth, Western Australia, at the RAC Arena or RAC Arena. I don't know how you pronounce it. If there's anyone in the chat room, anyone from Australia that can correct me on that. But 5 matches, which again, these WWE pay-per-views how they usually go. You have the show opens with Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman versus Roman Reigns in a Australian street fight. Justin, can you tell me what made this an Australian street fight?
They're in Australia and they use Australian weapons.
So what Australian weapons did they use?
Like the sports weapons, like the cricket bat, for one.
Okay. Like, with a lot of these, like,
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really pay attention or care if it's a street fight, if it's a no holds barred match. I don't really think that really matters at the end of the day.
No,
they can call it wherever they want. They can call it a fucking a Mars street fight or whatever, and they're not even on Mars. It's just for branding. It's not that deep.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I try not to make it deep, but then I somehow do. Where it's like, if you're gonna call it a street fight pertaining to the city or the country that you're in, I don't know, add some pizzazz to it. You know what I mean? It's like when I talked about the Damian Priest and Drew match at Mania, where they had the Las Vegas street fight, but it wasn't really Las Vegas themed. It was just a street fight. Like, I don't know, like throwing some like casino tables.
Your suggestion
for an Australian street fight, like, I don't know, add some weapons like didgeridoo. Was it didgeridoos? Koalas. I don't fucking know. But yeah, didgeridoos is the only thing I can think of. But I don't know, if you're gonna do a street fight, I don't know.
They did have something Australian with the cricket bat.
Okay, one, but I don't know. That's just me. That's just me being picky as fuck.
In a Texas street fight, do we usually see bull ropes in a Texas street fight?
I hope we do. That'll be fun.
In a Texas death match, whenever they have Texas death matches, do we see bull ropes typically?
I mean, they should.
We don't. But we don't.
I don't know.
No one complains about that.
I don't know. I do, because I'm picky as fuck.
In a Chicago street fight, do they use fucking pistols and fucking knives? I mean, I know they can't, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I don't really care. It's just the branding. I don't really look at deeper than that. That's it.
I know, but unfortunately, I'm picky like that. But anywho, match was 21 minutes. Of course, Roman had his big ass entrance. Bronson had his entrance. Of course got a pop because he's in Australia. He's the hometown boy, and I think
He didn't get a pop. You talking about Bronson Reed?
yeah, Bronson Reed got a reaction. You got people cheering for him.
He got a reaction, but he ain't got like a huge pop or anything. Roman was the one that got the pop.
Yeah, not to the extent of Roman, but Bronson still got a pop. Not like a big pop, but a pop. But anywho,
Literally, well, not literally everybody gets a pop, but most wrestlers get some type of reaction.
well, yeah, he got a hometown
I
reaction.
expect him to get a reaction, and yeah, he got a home. He didn't get like a huge hometown reaction because he was the heel. You know what I mean?
Right. He didn't get a Rhea
It wasn't
Ripley
like a
reaction.
Rhea-
I know
it
that.
wasn't like Rhea or anything like that.
No, I know. He didn't get a Rhea reaction, but he got a reaction. But anywho, this match kind of went the way you thought it would. There was interference. The Usos came out. Roman got mad at the Usos for whatever reason because he's like, I can do this on my own. And Jay is getting mad at Jimmy for whatever reason. But hey, Bronson got a win. I mean, I think me both picked Bronson. Because at this point, it's like, what does Roman lose if he loses? And also, it's a gimmick match, so it's more believable if he loses because there's going to be interference. But I don't know, I'm happy for Bronson. I'm happy he got a win. I have been liking the presentation of Bronson so far, especially in this group. And of course, we'll talk about what happened on Monday. But what did you think about this match?
Wait, you broke up just a little bit. Can you repeat that last part?
What did you think about this match?
Oh, it was good. It was good. It was a standard street fight. Bronson picking up the win. I didn't officially predict. I predicted Roman, but I said that Bronson should be the one to get the win. But yeah, no, it was the right outcome.
Okay, agreed. And all right, so moving on. Next, you had Stephanie Vacour, the Raw Women's World Champion, versus Tiffany Stratton, the SmackDown Women's Champion, in the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match. It wasn't a bad match. I was almost surprised, but not really, that Stephanie won the match. I think you picked. I think you and me were split on this last Wednesday because I think you picked Tiffany, and I picked Stephanie, and then in the end,
Yeah, I did pick Tiffany.
Stephanie won. Which, from the way it looks, from the way they're really pushing Stephanie, and I said last week that Stephanie looks like she's been ready for the spotlight. Because it's weird, because like a Facebook memory popped up where it showed Stephanie's debut in NXT last year, and it's like she's only been in the company for a year, and in one whole year, this year, she's been the Women's North American Champion, the NXT Women's Champion, the Women's World Champion, and now she's the Women's Crown Jewel Champion, all in one fucking year. It's astounding how. Would you consider her, like, I guess in WWE terms, a rookie? Or how would you place her as far as, like, rankings go for, like, any category?
What do you mean?
So, like, let me ask the first question.
She's not a rookie. I mean, to answer the question, she's not a rookie, so.
I mean, for WWE terms, would you, I guess, consider her for... well, you know what? Rookie isn't the right word. Let me rephrase that. As far as, like, anyone that's had a really good first year in WWE, like, how would you rank her compared to other people?
Like as far as like ranking her as far as like a first year in WWE, she has to be towards the top. Yeah.
Right, because like who else? Like Kurt Angle, he had a really big year in his first year in WWE. Brock Lesnar, that's another name. Who's another good name?
I mean, collectively, the Shield.
Yeah, the Shield. Okay.
Collectively, the Shield. Yeah, for sure. Trying to think of who else. Possibly Sheamus.
Sheamus. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his first.
Yeah, because he beat Cena. Yeah, he was on ECW that long and came out to the main roster. Beat and he was pushed. He was pushed before he lost to Hunter at 26.
I remember that. Del Rio. He was kind of pushed heavily when he
Del
came
Rio's another one. Yeah. Del Rio's another one too as well.
up.
So there's names. There's names.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, this match was fine. I mean, I don't really think there was anything overly spectacular about the match. I did find it interesting how it almost seemed like Stephanie was trying to work heel while Tiffany was trying to work a face, because there was that one spot where I think Stephanie wants to shake her hand and then Tiffany slaps it away. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But overall, like I'm obviously not mad who won. Would it have made more sense for Tiffany to win because she's been pushed more heavily, or pushed longer before Stephanie came on? Yeah, maybe. But I think Stephanie.
Yeah, I just think Tiffany needed to win because if Stephanie would have lost, it would not have hurt her whatsoever.
True.
I'm not saying that Tiffany's hurt from this. I just think that Tiffany needed to win more because she's on SmackDown. She's not really getting high praises right now. Not because she's bad. It's just because of the division around her. I would have really liked it if they just gave it to Tiffany here. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like it wouldn't hurt. Stephanie. Now I think I won't say it hurts Tiffany, but it does put a little bit of a blemish on Tiffany.
What do you think?
Tiffany's about to come up on Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because you mentioned how Tiffany's she's about to come up on a year as champion because she cashed it in at the beginning of the year, and it's October, so it's like pretty much 9 months as champion. I think a lot of what's been hurting Tiffany in some ways is, you look at that SmackDown Women's Division. There's really not a lot. Like every feud she's had on SmackDown has been her versus Nia, her versus Jade, her versus Nia and Jade, and then back and forth. And it's like, I mean, I love Julia, but what has Julia been doing? Really nothing. And then you got Chelsea there, who love Chelsea, but what are you gonna do with Chelsea? So, I don't know. Like Tiffany, I really do like Tiffany, but I feel in some ways she's kind of rest, but I don't think that's her fault. I think it's booking. But Stephanie, I think, Stephanie's naturally good. Not even saying that Tiffany's bad, but I think for Stephanie, she probably feels more motivated because she's on a brand that has bigger names. She has Rhea Ripley, she has Io, she has Asuka. Names Roxanne, and you got Raquel who's kind of come into her own. So it was interesting to see Stephanie win, and I'm happy Stephanie won. But I do agree with you that even if she lost, I don't think it would have hurt her because she's still popular and over as fuck. Tiffany, in hindsight, probably could have used this more, but I don't know. We'll see. But good for Stephanie. Congratulations to her. All right. Next is you had undoubtedly match of the night, or match of the afternoon, morning, whatever. Pretty much the match of the show. I think people paid to see, and that's John Cena versus AJ Styles. You had AJ Styles come out in his old gear from 20 years ago, back in TNA. The tight trunks, and also the vest, and also the little like necklace. And I smiled when I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, AJ's wearing that, and he obviously can still pull it off because he's been wearing like long tights for the longest time. That I forgot how he looked in that, and he was able to pull it off without looking like goofy or anything. And then of course John Cena came out and got a rock star like reaction, as you can imagine John Cena would. And he does his usual introduction from the announcer, and then he gives a piece of paper to the announcer to announce AJ, which that was off the cuff, and AJ didn't know about it. And you can see AJ get emotional. Refer to him as Mr. Total Nonstop Action, the face that runs the place, AJ Styles, and I thought that was cool. But yeah, this match was everything you didn't know it was going to be, and that's a good thing. I usually I bitch about this kind of stuff, but in this case, I'm like, you know what? I love this. I love AJ Styles. John Cena is somebody that I do respect. Haven't always been the biggest John Cena fan. I liked him better as Dr. Thugonomics, just being honest. But I've always respected John Cena's hustle and his drive and how giving he can be. And he was very giving in this match, and as was AJ. Granted, AJ was the one doing 80% of the work, but you got to give John credit there as well. And a lot of this was like a concert of somebody, of like an older band, playing the greatest hits while also doing covers. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Where, you saw John Cena do a fucking a Sister Abigail, which I popped for that, and I also got choked up for that because, obviously because of Bray. And, looking up into the sky, saying, thank you, I miss you. And the crowd even, pulling up their cell phone lights, which that was cool. And also John looked like he was able to pull it off pretty well. And then AJ, borrowed some moves from, I think, Christopher Daniels. John Cena was about to do a 619, which I'm like, tell me he's not going to do a 619. And then AJ clotheslines him, and the fans start booing AJ. So I thought that was kind of funny. There's some other moves, and I'm blanking on them. So if you remember them, please let me know. The match ends with Cena going for a choke slam. Well, he does a choke slam, and then a tombstone, and then he turns that into an 1, 2, 3 and gets the win. So I thought that was a perfect match. You had Mr. WWE versus Mr. TNA. That was the best way to promote it. I loved it. I loved every second of it. If that's anyone's match of the year, I won't disagree with you. It's definitely it's up there for my match of the year. I don't know where I'll place it though, but
it's definitely I'll definitely say top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
top 3, top 5 for sure.
But please tell me your thoughts, Justin. I'm dying to know.
So these were the moves that were done in the match. Skull Crusher finale, the Accolade, the Coquina Clutch, Walt's Jericho, Angel Wings, Sister Abigail, Scorpion Death Drop, the Orton DT, the RKO, the Fate to Black. A lot of people thought was a Deadeye. It was really a Fate to Black for Kazarian. Sorry, Hangman. This wasn't really wasn't a Hangman tribute. I don't know why people would have thought that, but I mean, I see why people would have thought that, and people don't know why. People probably don't really realize that Kazarian did that move, but it wasn't a tribute to Hangman, guys. A choke slam, sweet chin music, and a tombstone. So those are all the moves that were used in this match. I thought this match was great. It was a tribute to pro wrestling, right? A tribute to their opponents, and it really just a shout out to, a shout out to these wrestlers that they probably won't have a chance to have a match with. Yeah, I don't see Cena having a match with Chris Jericho. I don't see, Cena having a match with Rusev, or obviously The Undertaker. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I thought this match was good for what it was, obviously, and on top of that too as well, really just AJ being to be able to be put in this position. You know what I mean? Meltzer said that this match was supposed to happen the entire time. Like, I don't know about that one, man. Like, come on. I don't really believe that particular, you know, story or hypothesis that you have there, Mr. Meltzer. But it was good. Not good. Great. It was a great match. This is gonna be one of those matches that you're gonna remember. I think out of all the Cena matches from this retirement tour, I think this one may be remembered the most. I mean, he still has 4 appearances left, so we don't know for sure. But this is definitely gonna be top 2 or maybe even number 1 on people's lists. So if this was Cena's last match, I don't think anyone would have complained.
This would be perfect. This would be, matter of fact, you know, because you got AJ retiring. AJ is going to be retiring pretty soon, and you know, in a perfect world, this would have been a nice way to send stuff. You know, if they retired tomorrow, you know, that'd be a perfect like Hollywood movie ending. And they before going to the match, they were 2-2. So you had the match at SummerSlam 2016, yeah, 2016, to which AJ won clean. By the way, I remember that match. And I remember thinking like, shit, AJ won clean. You had there was another match. I think it was a
Rumble 2017.
Right, but there was a match in between that. But that wasn't a one-on-one match, so I guess I'm not gonna. I'll negate that. So Royal Rumble 2017, which I was actually there. I was there for that, and another good match to which Cena tied Ric Flair for the for be a 16-time champion. And then because they said 2-2, I'm trying to remember. I'm guessing they're counting the multi-man matches because there was a match at another pay-per-view. AJ was the champion and John Cena was involved. It was like a multi-man thing, and AJ still won. And then there was an Elimination Chamber match in 2017, and that was when Bray Wyatt won the championship first time. So I guess they're counting those matches. And Cena.
This is what I got. Got Crown Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend, you got Money in the Bank. 2016. You got SummerSlam 2016.
Oh my God, I remember.
You got Royal Rumble 2017, and you got SmackDown in 2018.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right. Now. All right. Good. Thank you, Justin. So and then Cena won the rubber match over the weekend. So great feud. Great feud. Great match and perfect ending. So. And then, of course, Cena has 4 matches, or four more appearances, which are more than likely going to be matches. There's going to be a Raw in Boston, which I believe is November 4th. And then you have a Raw in Madison Square Garden, which is the week after. And then you have Survivor Series, which there's talk about who Cena might face at Survivor Series. And then, of course, his last ever match, which is on December 13th, and DC, which is going to be on Peacock. I was going to say something, but I don't really think it matters. Oh, fuck, I'll just say it anyway. So, yeah, Karrion Kross, he put on Twitter, last night, after Matt Cardona came on, that pretty much he wants to see John Cena versus Matt Cardona. And then John Cena, usually puts up photos on his Instagram without any, context or captions, whatsoever. And he pretty much put up a screenshot of Matt Cardona in NXT. So the talk is that Cena has more say in who his final opponents are. So I don't know, Justin, would you be interested in seeing John Cena versus Matt Cardona in one of his final matches?
Yes, I love Matt Cardona. I listen to the podcast every week, obviously, because I'm a wrestling figure collector and I am a shop owner, so I have to be on top of news for that and hear opinions on certain things. And they obviously go into what they do for wrestling as well. So it's like 80% action figures, and like 20% about like what they're doing, like in the indies and stuff, and like jokes and stories and shit like that. However, I don't know. And I know Cena has a lot of pull, and he probably wants to help Cardona, and I know they're very good friends. I just don't know, like, the benefit to WWE for this.
I mean, it's
Because Cardona ain't gonna be signed to a new contract with WWE.
no,
It's not happening.
no, I know that, but like let me ask you something. Is Matt Cardona signed with TNA, or is he just like on loan, essentially?
He is. I think he's not like he's not on an exclusive contract. I'll say that it's not an exclusive contract because he can work GCW. He could go to AEW if he really wanted to. As far as like doing actual Ring of Honor things of that nature, he's on a contract but not exclusively. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Okay, no, I get you because I know he did the House of Glory show recently with Cross. So, to answer your question as far as like benefit goes, I just think it'd be a good attraction match because Cardona, I said, on his appearance from NXT on Tuesday, which was that, he worked his ass off in the Indies to get over and to, to redefine himself, and he did.
For sure.
And I wouldn't mind seeing him and Cena. I think it'd just be a something for the fans, not necessarily for WWE, so to speak. I mean, it could definitely help out Cardona. I mean, because I know Chelsea, and yeah, Chelsea's, his wife, and so she has to say certain things and not say certain things. But, like, she had said that she thinks Matt is ready to come back to WWE. So, and again, that can mean a whole lot. That can mean nothing, but...
That I would love to see Cardona come back. Unless if they allow him to continue his toy company, I don't see it. Because his toy company is what's making him a lot of fucking money right now.
True.
He's making. I mean, obviously, with this happening, let's say he signs back with WWE, he's not going to be doing this no more. But he's currently making his toy company's making figures of AEW wrestlers. So I don't see that happening. Number one, but also number two, it's not just they're making money off AEW. They're making things for Major League Baseball. They're doing like other properties as well. Like for example, they did like a John Rambo action figure, and they're doing like a Kurt Sloan from Kickboxer action figure. They're doing like things like that. So I don't know if WWE is going to allow him to continue that. If they can work out a deal and do something very exclusive to do it, I'm more than sure he'll jump all over it. But one thing he has mentioned he really loves and he enjoys his freedom. If he can, I'll put it to you this way: if he was to come back to WWE, and he's like, you know what? I don't want to be on main roster. I just want to be on NXT because he lives in Orlando. I think he will sign in a heartbeat. But I'm not too sure if he wants to do that or not.
Right. No, I get you. I get you on that. And if someone has that kind of freedom and they're still making good money that's like on the same length as like WWE, if not even more, I wouldn't want to sign anywhere. But Raw coming up in Madison Square Garden, and Zack Ryder lives, or is from, he was born around the area. It's like, can you imagine that pop when Matt comes out? Like that would be huge.
No, it'd be a great pop. It'd be a great pop. It'd be a great moment and all that stuff. I just don't know if. I don't know. Anything's possible in wrestling. So, I would like to see it, but I just don't know if WWE. I think WWE has to have something. If John Cena was like, you know what, I want to wrestle. I don't know. I want to wrestle Rob Conway.
Okay.
Because we were in OVW together, and we have a good relationship. Whatever, right? Like, you think WWE's gonna allow that shit to happen?
Well, because nobody remembers Ron Conway. Well,
regardless, though, Whitby was really pushing for it.
I mean, I think they're gonna let Cena do whatever the fuck he wants, essentially. So, I truly believe if he said, "Hey,"
you can't have matches. If he only has 4 appearances left, you can't have matches with everyone.
I know, but like I'm just saying, like I can picture Cena being like,
pick your 4 now. Pick your 4 four right now. Who's the four that you want to see Cena have in his last 4 matches?
Well, Gunther is kind of a gimme, so I can see Gunther being the last one. Dom for sure, especially with in San Diego. So yeah, those two. Boston for his Boston show. Who? Okay, so Madison Square Garden, I would love Matt Cardona, so that's gonna be my choice. Boston, I would say. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be bold. Carmelo Hayes.
Okay. That's left field right there. I would love to see it, but that's left field. So for me, I agree with Dom. I agree with Gunther. I will say to what WWE wants to do. I'm not saying these are the people that I will want him to go up against. I'm just saying I'm thinking the terms of what WWE will probably want to do. One name I'm thinking of is LA Knight. That's one name I'm thinking of right there is LA Knight. I don't agree with that, but I think that's the direction that WWE may want to go in. And the other name? Maybe Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Maybe Braun Breaker's champion by that time, and it's another world title match. I don't know.
That wouldn't be a bad
We'll
choice.
have to wait and see what they do, but maybe that's a possibility. I'm not sure.
I think Braun Breaker will be an interesting way to. He'd be an interesting opponent for Cena's last match in DC, because love Gunther, but I don't think Gunther needs the match. I think it would be a bigger, high-profile match, but I think someone like Braun Breaker could use it more. Like, I don't think Gunther really needs it. It would just be like, oh, that's an attraction match. That'd be cool. But I think Braun needs it more, in my opinion. But yeah, some good choices. I like those. But yeah, with this show. All right, Crown Jewel. So the next match, you had Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Who had the unfortunate honor of having to follow this last match. Again, it was a kind of, I don't want to say a boring match. It was kind of you kind of figured what was going to happen here. I would have personally wanted if Kabuki Warriors won, since you're trying to get them over and I guess reestablish them as heels, especially Asuka, who I think is doing great work as a heel, by the way. I don't really think it hurts Rhea to lose. I don't really think it hurts Io to lose, but I guess you want to send the crowd home happy, because for the most part this seemed like a very heel centric show, especially with how the show ended. But Rhea and Io won, which makes sense. Whatever. But I don't really have anything else to add to this match. What about you?
I thought it was a very good match. Very good match. I thought all 4 women looked great in this match. I mean, Kairi, I don't think she gets enough credit for what she does. Asuka's doing great in this heel role. Rhea was the rover, obviously, in Australia, and Io's the best women's wrestler in the world. I mean, it ended up being a really, really good tag match.
All right. And then, of course, you get to the main, which is for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. You have Cody Rhodes, who is the WWE Champion, and then you have Seth freaking Rollins, who's the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. Obviously didn't think it was a bad match. I actually thought it was a pretty good match. These two typically have very good matches with each other. They seem to have pretty good chemistry from the matches I've seen from them so far. My big problem was obviously how the match ended with Seth winning, and also going into what happened on Raw, which we'll get into that obviously. But good match overall.
What was wrong with Seth winning?
to win.
Oh, I'm sorry, you broke up. Say that one more time.
No, I was saying, why did Seth need to win?
Were you not paying attention to the story that was being told between Seth and Paul Heyman and the situation there?
No, like I was paying attention, but like especially well, I'll just jump ahead anyway. So obviously, what happened Monday?
Well, I mean, I'll just say this. I know, like you're not like a huge like little Seth guy right now, or I mean, I won't say you're happy that he got injured, but
No,
that's way too far. But
no, I hate him. No, I don't hate Seth. Anywho, go ahead, talk.
well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I don't think you're like he's off team. Okay, I can take a break from him. You're not. I don't think you're like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's malicious.
No.
But at the same time, I think you're like, he's gonna be off team. I can take a break.
Yeah, I mean, because we've been seeing Seth on TV for so freaking long. And like, even if you like somebody,
okay,
when you see too much of them, it's like okay.
Okay, so you're saying that like that's
No. I'm
terrible thing. Like
no.
We see a lot of wrestlers on TV for so long too as well. We see Cody on TV for a long time.
Like Cody isn't as pushed as Seth. Seth has been pushed for a long time.
Cody is not as pushed as Seth.
No, Cody,
the top guy.
Dude, Triple H is in love with Seth.
Rhea's been on TV for forever. I mean, she's getting pushed down people's throat, but she's over. She's super over. I get it.
Yeah, but
the thing about this is that when it comes to Seth, and Seth is going to be out for a while, right? I think people are going to realize on how much of a missing piece he's going to be in the main event scene.
Okay.
It's gonna be a huge chunk missing out of the main event scene for a while. He's gonna come back as a babyface, which is I don't think that's not a good idea at all. But with the story that they were telling the story of is Seth really the guy that is turning the cog or the guy that's really in charge of the vision, or is it really Paul Heyman? And the story was saying that Paul Heyman was telling Seth, well, if you don't win, maybe I should have not picked you. Maybe I should have stayed with Roman Reigns. That was basically the story that was telling. So the story was set up for Seth to win.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I feel differently about it. I get where you're coming from, and I get where the story's coming from. It's just I don't know, and for obvious reasons they had.
You don't like Seth, and Cody win. I understand it.
Cody's the guy. Like, why does I don't know. Anywho.
Oh, he definitely is. He definitely is, 100%.
But yeah, for obvious reasons, what happened on Monday happened because Seth allegedly, well, not even allegedly, he was seen wearing a sling with some fans. He's hurt. What did he injure again? I'm sorry.
He did the coast to coast headbutt and he landed on his shoulder. As soon as he landed on his shoulder and I saw him clutching his shoulder, I was like, oh well, he fucked his shoulder up. I didn't know it was that bad, but he fucked his shoulder up. Yeah,
which when I saw him do that, I'm like, fuck that. You shouldn't have done that, Seth. But and this is before I knew he was hurt. But so he's
right.
he's more than likely going to be out for some time. And this isn't going to be a work like before. He's actually going to be out, like out. I mean, he might even miss WrestleMania. From the way it looks. But again, I didn't think the match was bad. I actually thought it was really good. It's just I don't know the presentation. I would say the presentation on Cody hasn't been as strong. And I don't think that's his fault. I just think. RJ has that name from Captain Savaho. Like tries to be too much of the nice guy, and he also tries to be too much of an actor when cutting a promo. The last time he was interesting was against Kevin Owens. Like that was the last time he was actually interesting. Seth, I will say, this is probably the most human I've seen him. in this feud with Cody because it feels real, because it makes sense. You have a story that revolves around Seth wanting to beat Cody, and it's driving him nuts. But I don't know. I guess I feel differently. I guess maybe I just think Cody could have used the win, and the Vision were just gonna beat his ass anyway. But like I said, for obvious reasons, what happened on Monday happened.
Oh, Cody is the top guy. I don't think he needs the win or anything. He won it last year, so I don't understand why. But regardless, I mean, at the end of the day, the match was really good, but now the match is pointless because of the injury. So it doesn't matter to me at this point. It didn't really matter who won, who lose. So whatever.
I mean,
the match is pointless now, and the story's dead. So
I mean, when you think about it, all the storylines that have been going on before the show have been pointless, because you had LA Knight, who'd been wanting a world title match against Seth, and then you have CM Punk, who wants his title back, and then you have Jey Uso, who wants his title back, but I don't think they're ever going to make him world champion again. And then he has this thing going on with Roman Reigns and Jimmy.
Okay. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. But I guess this segues into Raw. I guess before that, how would you rate Crown Jewel?
I give it a nice 8. I thought it was an 8.5. I'll say 8 though. 8 out of 10. That was a very good show.
Yeah, same here. Even ESPN, they gave it a B. They said it was much better than WrestlePalooza. So yeah, good night. Let's segues into Raw, which was also in Perth, Australia, which was also at 7 in the morning. So yeah, let's just talk about the elephant in the room with that match. Or with that show. So the main event ended up being CM Punk versus LA Knight versus Jey Uso to determine who would face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is supposed to be, keyword supposed to be, at Saturday night's main event on November 1st, which is going to be in Utah. And Seth Rollins came out and celebrated and, did his usual shtick, blah, blah, blah. And it's I don't know, he was kind of being weird. Yeah, I guess weirder than usual, but like he was like telling the Vision, the birth of my child, me getting married to my wife, and then you guys, the sky's the limit, pretty much. And of course, the main event, you had CM Punk and LA Knight and Jey Uso, like I mentioned, to which CM Punk won. Which I love CM Punk, but it's like storyline purpose-wise, I would have wanted LA Knight to win, just so he can get his title match. But obviously, like you mentioned,
well, I mean, at this point,
it's pointless.
I mean, at this point, yeah, no, yes. Well, let's stop. Let's rewind. Either they're putting it on CM Punk or maybe possibly Braun Breaker, who may end up being champion, right? I think a lot of things have changed. They had to scramble because they didn't announce this number one contenders match last week. I don't think. I think it was just a match that was announced the day of the show. If I'm wrong, someone tell me. But I believe that was the case. So they're scrambling for an answer to this Seth Rollins situation. So, and you know what too is like, this screws up a lot of things. It only doesn't screw up because the Vision storyline, because they weren't supposed to break up until next year, sometime next year. And that's number one. But also number two, this screws up War Games fucking completely.
Mm-hmm.
It screws War Games all the way up because I was imagining it was gonna be the Vision versus a combination of like Jey Uso, Roman, LA Knight. You know what I mean? I was imagining it was gonna be that. So this screwed everything up. So with this match that happened, yeah, CM Punk probably didn't need, which in theory, yes, if Seth was the champion, but also at the same time as well, it's like, what else? Who else would you have in this situation to help sell these tickets to Saturday night's main event and to sell it to folks who want to watch on NBC?
No, I
Not
get.
NBC, but Peacock now.
No, at the time, that my thought process was, okay, love Punk, but why can't Knight get the win? And then when I found out what was actually going on, I went, oh, that makes sense, because Punk is Punk. He's a draw. He's he's gonna sell you tickets and love LA Knight, but that's that guy. And from the way it looks, well, let's just jump ahead. So, Punk wins, and then afterwards, the Vision comes in and beats up Punk. And then, they're celebrating, and then Seth is telling, Braun Breaker, get him out of my ring. And the camera's panning out almost as if someone's going to come out or something's going to happen. And you see the credits pop, pile up from the bottom. You see Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting. And I'm like, okay. So, are they going to do something, or what's going on? Because the show's about to end, and then you see Braun Breaker, which so like I'll watch like Twitch streamers that react to the show, just to kind of see what their reactions are, and is my friend I think it's my friend Devin, might have been him, who reacts to the shows, and he noticed that Braun Breaker looked upset, like he looked like he was pissed off. And so you see Braun Breaker get into the corner and stare like into the corner, almost as if he's about to go after someone. And then when Seth turns around, he spears the shit out of Seth. And that I popped for that because obviously I didn't expect that, because I was so into the moment of like what's going on, is the show about to end. And then he gets in Bronson Reed's face and says, "Are you going to join me or join him?" And then Reed grabs Seth and does a tsunami. And then, Bronson gets in Paul Heyman's face, and Paul Heyman's shocked, quote unquote. And, pretty much tells Paul Heyman, you're either with us or against us. And then Paul Bronson in Braun's hands. While Braun, Breaker has the World Heavyweight Championship. So, to kind of go piggyback off what you said earlier, that kind of looks like where they're going, is that they're going to put the title on Braun, which I'm happy, because I love Braun. I think Braun's been doing a great job getting himself over.
Think he's ready yet?
That's kind of where I'm stalling, is that, do you really hotshot the world title on Braun? That's my thing.
I mean, look. I think he'll hold the title fine and he'll get over, but I'm just saying, temper, like, let's really think about this first. Now, if they do it to where, now, this is the direction that they may go, and they may put the title on Braun, make him world champion. If Seth's ready by Mania, have him and Braun at Mania. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't want to see that, because it was really supposed to be Seth versus fucking Roman, but.
Well, for a while it looked like it was going to be Seth and Sammy, but I don't think they're going to put Sammy in that spot.
No, I've been off the Sammy train for like the last couple months. I don't see that happening now.
Well, I think
I may be wrong, but I've been off of it since he won the Intercontinental Championship.
U.S. Championship.
Oh, U.S. Championship. Yeah, I'm sorry, U.S. Championship.
But yeah, I think everybody's been off the Sammy train, for a while. But shit, at this point, it's like, right, Survivor Series is, well, not necessarily fucked, but like, they're obviously still gonna have a match. But like, at this point, it's like, what's gonna be your Survivor Series match? Like, what is it? So again, I don't know. I would think they would go with the safe bet and put the title on Punk. Because I can't see them hot-shotting Braun into that spot, because I love Braun, but he's not ready. He's still a little green. He still has some greenness to him.
I say he's green, but I just don't think he has that full experience yet to carry the world champion.
No, I know. I think him. I
still think he's 6 months.
Yeah, like I think him obviously working a program with CM Punk is going to do him wonders. But there's no doubt about that. But yeah, in some ways, I hope they don't put a title on him just to get him over. Like I don't know, and they've done that before with guys in the past where they put a title on them to get him over. And Braun's over, but he's not ready, in my opinion. I think they're gonna. To me, I think it's better to go with the safer bet and just put the title on Punk. But I don't know. We'll see.
Where does Punk go next?
As far as like if he wins the world title, again, it's one of those things of like I don't know because Seth getting hurt kind of puts a foil on things. I don't know. Do a feud with Knight. Haven't done that yet. Maybe do a feud with Jay. I don't know. It's rough. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where we go from here. And then there's the possibility of Obafemi coming to the main roster. Maybe Trick Williams coming to the main roster.
They need to start making some call. They gotta make some call ups.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be the time where you're going to see more guys debut. I mean, Dragunov is going to come back pretty soon. You got Chris Jericho possibly at this point. He's coming back to WWE. I think at this point he's coming back. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next coming months. So, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I have no idea.
All right. But as far as the rest of Raw was actually pretty good. It wasn't a bad show. You had Dominic Mysterio versus Penta, and as usual, that was a great match. Dom is really at the top of his game. Penta is over like Rover. People love Penta. I love how Rusev is still involved in this. I love Rusev just shit talking Dom, calling him a little baby boy. And Dom pretty much wrestling like his dad. Not Ray, Eddie Guerrero. And there was a nice spot in the match where he was it the hammer for the ring bell and hits Penta with it and does the 619, the frog splash, and then hides the bell like in his boots. So I thought that was perfect. I think Dom is doing great work. I hope you don't take that title off of him anytime soon because he's doing great shit. He's also somebody that, with Seth out, he can be propelled and not necessarily, to the main event scene to work with someone like Punk. Like that'd be interesting to do a program with Punk and Dom. So, but yeah, what'd you think about the Dom and Penta match?
Standard match, very good.
All right. Next is you had Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane. What led to this was Kairi Sane was overly apologetic to Asuka for letting her down, and then Asuka slapped Kairi Sane, which I actually jumped out of my seat for. I'm like, what the fuck? Just abuse Kairi. I shouldn't be laughing about that, by the way. But Kairi says, I'll go after Rhea. So, so those two had a match. It was a pretty good match. Kairi was working a lot more aggressively to win. Spoilers. After which the heels ended up getting the upper hand, taking down Rhea and Io. And Asuka seemed to be happy with Kairi with helping her take down Rhea and Io. So the heels ended up leaving Australia, taking down Rhea. Cool. You had Bronson Reed versus Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso and Jay were arguing in the back, and Jimmy was telling Jay, "Listen, I don't need you. Just stay back here." And whatchamacallit? Yeah, Bronson won the match as we all expected. Afterwards, Braun and Braun beat down Jimmy when Jay came out to make the save, and then Braun ended up spearing Jay anyway. So there's that. You had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who were coming out wearing matching shirts, doing a matching entrance, versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. I thought this was a fun tag match. So far I'm digging Crazy Bayley. I like it. You know, Bailey's working a more aggressive style, and I don't think I've ever seen her work a style like that. So she seems a little bit more inspired. And I thought it was kind of funny how Lyra had to slap Bailey across the face to get her to be crazy. And then she just ended up beating the shit out of everybody, and then she got the win for her team. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then he had Stephanie Vacour come out to do an interview talking about her win on Saturday, and then Raquel and Roxanne came out and just talked a little bit of shit. And Roxanne saying, I beat Io. I'm the last one to actually beat Io, so I should get a world title match. So looks like Stephanie and Roxanne are going to be working a program together, which I'm happy about because that'll be great. That'll be a great program with those. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, get too young. I don't want to say that Stephanie. I mean, she's already up to the top of the mountain, but up and coming, women's wrestlers, and put them in a program. I think it's good for both of them, obviously.
All right.
Very good first program for Stephanie. They're not failing her as far as in ring, so.
So but that'll be a great match. The main event happened, and we talked about that. So that was Raw, pretty good Raw. So NXT is coming up next, but we forgot to talk about Bound for Glory. So let's talk about Bound for Glory real quick. That happened on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, October 12th in Lowell, Massachusetts in the Sangha Center. And if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. You had a pre-show match, which I didn't watch. Well, I think I caught literally the end of it. You had the Inspiration defending the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships against the Elegance brand. Inspiration. Did you watch Bound for Glory?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Then the first match, you had Steve Macklin.
I actually ordered it.
Oh yeah, you ordered the pay-per-view. Nice. Next is you had Steve Macklin versus Frankie Kazarian for the International Championship, the TNA International Championship. The match wasn't bad. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't really anything I was really particularly interested in. I mean, I'll say this about the pay-per-view. They knew how to pace the show and where to put everything on the card. And they knew people were going to care more about the matches. And it's no disrespect to Steve Macklin or Kazarian. It's just I think they knew what people wanted to see. So I'll give them credit for that. But this was a match. That's the best way to put it. It was a match. It wasn't terrible, particularly exciting, but it was a match and it happened. Steve Macklin is the new international champion. So, what'd you think?
I thought it was a fine match. It wasn't, like, to your point, it wasn't anything like great or anything like that. But Macklin winning was the right decision. For his spot in the company. Former world champion. So I thought was the right outcome.
Yes, sir. All right, next is you have Tessa Blanchard with Victoria Crawford, who was Alicia Fox, defeating Gia Miller, which I had to remember who Gia Miller was. She was the announcer that Tessa Blanchard beat up and then got suspended. So, again, it was a lot of the match was Tessa Blanchard not taking her seriously because she's not really a wrestler, and then Gia doing some moves, and then Tessa getting the win because, yeah. Again, like I mentioned, the TNA knew how to put these matches together because they knew what people were going to like more and be more interested in. But thoughts on this match?
I mean, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, I mean, there was. Honestly, I could have done without this match, to be honest. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't terrible, but I just could have done without it.
All right. 22-person intergender Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Let's see if I have the participants. Oh, I do. You had Li Ying Lee you had Mara Sade, you had Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth, Cedric Alexander, Swan, AJ Francis, Travis Williams, BDE. Who's BDE? Because people are making a big deal about him.
He is a YouTuber, who I don't like. I'll just say that.
Like what? Like what does he do? Like what does he talk about?
He's a 2K content creator.
Okay, I had no clue who he was because like I remember I think I saw Solomon Monster talk about him. I'm like, this guy is. Yeah,
he's very popular with his peers. I will say that, and he has a fan base. I personally just don't like him.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, the Rascals, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz come out. We'll get into releases pretty soon. Danny Luna, Eric Young, Jake Something, Rosemary, the Hometown Man. I don't know. I get a kick out of that song for some reason. I don't know why. Zach Clayton, Frankie Kazarian, Santino Marella, who actually apparently I think he broke his record for the shortest time in a battle royal. So Matt Cardona and Mance Warner. And the winners of this match were Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, which the crowd actually booed. That was a fucking terrible decision to have two guys win instead of just one guy. But I don't know. What did you think about that match?
I mean, I like to see battle royals like this, especially when it's like intergender. It makes it a little bit more fun. I would just have one person would have won though, personally, but maybe there's something bigger than this that's gonna happen that we don't know about yet. So, you know.
Next is you have for the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell. This was an okay match. It wasn't terrible. I like Kalani. Indy, I don't know. Indy, I'm still not sold on. I don't see what other people are seeing. Personally, I just still think she's wrestling the same. But I thought this was a match. This is not a terrible match. I'm not even going to say the same thing about this match that I've said about other matches on the show. It was what it was. Kalani winning was kind of predictable. I know you picked Indy, which I can see why. It probably would have made more sense. But, you know, there's really nobody else on the show. As a matter of fact, it's weird to think about. There's really nobody else on TNA's current women's roster that I think is interesting enough to be the women's champion, except for maybe Tessa, but they're not bringing Tessa into WWE. I don't think they're touching her with a 10-foot pole. But Kalani winning was kind of the way to go, and you kind of see that coming. But do you have any thoughts on that?
I disagree wholeheartedly. The whole story was of NXT, running through TNA, and we got the biggest one, Santana's the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. They should just put the title on Indy, and just figure it out. It's stupid that you're gonna keep the title on Kalani and pretend that Kalani, I'm the TNA diehard now. Like, this fucking retarded. It's stupid. You're a contracted WWE wrestler. Like, it's retarded. Not to say that Kalani deserves it, because I love Kalani. It has nothing to do with her. Just the decision making of this. You can still have Indy go up against, the NXT women's roster and defend against them. You know what I mean? But to me, this is stupid, because I mean, you still got like other women there in the knockouts division. You still got other women there in the knockouts division that you can utilize. You got Xia Li, obviously Indy Hartwell, Jody Threat's there, Kelly Kelly's there. Well, you got names you can use. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Next is the 10-person intergender hardcore war. You had the System, Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, and JDC versus the Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steele, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hotch, and John Schuyler. I'll be honest, I was out of this match because I was, preparing something for dinner. So I saw bits and pieces of the match. And obviously, I know the System won, and Moose was kind of like the big reason why they won. So you're gonna have to fill in some gaps for me. But yeah, what happened in the match? That was any of the awards.
We can skip it if you didn't see it.
But I guess quick thoughts. What'd you think about it?
That was a really good hardcore match.
All right. Next is you had I think the match most people wanted to see. That was on everyone's radar. You had Leon Slater, who's the TNA X Division, versus Javon Evans. For obvious reasons, is on everyone's radar. I thought this was fun. It was a fun match. I don't know if I would call it a great match, personally for me, but I like Javon Evans. Leon Slater, I've only seen a little bit of him, but from what I've seen, he's obviously very impressive. He's very young. Him and Javon, I like the idea of them working together and just being best friends and just being two young guys talking shit to each other. And this match did a lot. It was basically the quintessential, if you love modern wrestling, if you love flips, if you love video game style. I don't mean that in a bad way. Honestly, I don't. Then this is your match. And like I said, I had fun. Even though, again, me being picky about stuff like this, I had fun. I had fun with this match. My whole thing was, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, is Javon really going to win the X Division title? Is Slater, going to beat Javon? Because I can't really see either happening. Because, WWE, covets and holds Javon, near and dear to their hearts. And Leon Slater is, one of the biggest guys, and one of the biggest attractions going on in TNA. So that was kind of my thing of how is this match gonna end? I was kind of worried a little bit, and it had a time limit draw, which I'm wait, TNA does time limit draws? To be honest, I like time limit draws because it gives the match more meaning and it makes people work with a sense of urgency. So I like the fact that it ended on a time limit draw. And they decided to give him, more time. And then the lights went out, and fucking Dark State came out and did things, which, RJ, to his credit, and I'll agree with what I say about it, he kind of just said what I said, which is they're not going to have Javon Evans lose, and they're not going to have Slater lose. So they had to think of something to do. I just don't get why they didn't just stick with the time limit draw bit. Which, that would have made people mad, but that would have made more sense. Instead of having Dark come out and get booed, which the whole crowd was chanting, "Fuck these guys." But
I mean, they're heels. I mean, wouldn't that be the reaction that you want as a heel?
Yes, but I don't even think it was "fuck these guys, they're heels." I think honestly the crowd was "Fuck these guys, we don't want them on our TV, get them the fuck away from here." But anyways, what'd you think about the match?
I don't see it like that.
Yeah. But anyways, thoughts on the match?
This is my best match of the year for any male wrestlers. It was incredible. This is the reason why you let two young guys go out there and just wrestle. They told a story. They did amazing counters, amazing risk. They had the crown in the palm of their hand. The athleticism is second to none. And this is everything that I hope for this match to be, and I want to see these guys go up against each other again. This and potentially it could be a potential a WrestleMania main event. Can you imagine them, 5, 6 years from now, in a WrestleMania main event situation? Right, it doesn't have to be a main event, but at least a big match at WrestleMania, maybe for the Intercontinental title, right? Something. These guys were fucking tremendous. Yes, the ending sucked. Yes, the ending was stupid, whatever, right? Even despite that, I still think this is the best match of the year between two male wrestlers. Unbelievable match. Unbelievable match. We had two match of the year candidates 2 days in a row. That is great. That's fantastic. I love that. AJ and Cena is a match of the year candidate. I possibly have that in my top three, right? And this is my match of the year as far as male talent is concerned. So I have this at number 2 right now. So it's a fantastic match. Loved it. Loved everything about it. Um, it's pro wrestling. It's modern pro wrestling in a sense, and it's great. I mean, these guys are the now. You know what I mean? They are the now. These guys should be winning world titles now, not in 7 years, whatever it is. Now. These guys are fucking fantastic. Loved everything about it. What happened to Drew? Can anyone hear me? Drew's still here, but yeah, I can't hear you, Drew, if you're muted. I can't hear you, Drew. Guys, I don't know what happened to Drew. Or is it me? Can maybe it's my I can't hear Drew. I can hear you now, Drew, a little bit, but your mic is so low, I can barely hear you. I can hear you, but your mic is low. Either you gotta get close to your microphone or turn up your volume on your microphone. I don't know. Then I don't know what happened with your shit then. Yeah, cause yeah, everything on my end is normal. Chat, can y'all hear Drew like loud and clearly as y'all did before? Okay, so Drew is low iOS. Okay, I just want to make sure, and if it was me or not. I, uh, hello, 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 hello. Um, we're here, and yeah.
fucking possible. Damn it. Alright, can you hear me? Yo. Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Can you hear me?
Who's in here? Kyle and Maurice. Well, I hear you. I think I hear you a little bit better now. Oh, actually, no, you're still low. Sorry. I hear you, but you're super low, bro. Like, I have to, like, blast my shit. Like, I have to, like, turn everything up. Yeah, like, I have my speaker all the way fucking up, and, like, I can barely hear you. A little bit. It's the same. It's not. It hasn't got any better. You cut out. Um, what was that? Okay, I think you're getting back to normal. I think. Like, because you sound kind of normal there, and now you're low again. Yeah, you're about there. Yeah, yeah. I think we're almost good. I can you hear me?
In the chat, how do I sound? Do I sound normal?
I think we're there. I think we're there.
All right, Kyle says my audio
Yeah, I think
sounds
we're
good
there.
again. All right, fuck. Jesus Christ. Christ on a cracker. Anyways, all right, so. Thank you. Now we got to restart the show. No, I'm playing. No, what I was saying, if anyone can hear me so I can stop yelling. Um, it's funny how both matches represented a changing of the guard. You know, you had Cena and AJ represent the past, and they still had a great match. And then you had Slater and Evans, you know, represent the future, and they had a great match. They everyone loved. So, and again, great weekend for wrestling in general. So, all right, so let's get to. This is gonna be fun to edit, by the way. Speaking of the past, you have the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, who are the TNA and NXT Tag Team Champions, versus the Dudleys or Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon, in a tables match. And this was being billed as Team 3D's last ever match. So, um, I was surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't say surprised for the Hardys because they still work at a pretty, you know, high pace, so to speak. I guess I was more surprised for the Dudleys because they were bumping out there like I haven't seen them bump in a while. Um, and even Jeff recreated his famous Royal Rumble swanton dive onto the Dudleys on a table, to which he took out Devon first. So yeah, he did the swanton on Devon, and then later on, um, the Hardys have Bubba Ray cornered, and they kind of, I guess, they kind of recreate the spot with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, where they do the "I'm sorry, I love you" bit, but it's Bubba Ray turning around, going, "Well, I guess it's the end," and Matt and Jeff throw Bubba through a table, and that's how they won the match. And then afterwards, they shake hands and hug, and the Dudleys actually take off their boots, which is traditional in wrestling, to take off your boots and leave them in the ring, and then they give them to the Hardys, and then the match ends with all four men hugging and shaking hands. It was a pretty emotional moment, obviously, because these are guys that we grew up with. We grew up with these guys. These guys redefined tag team wrestling. So it was a pretty emotional moment. But what did you think about the match?
It was a great send off for the Dudleys. Um, taking the boots off and that symbolism. I mean, I think that's very telling. Seems like Bubba is not wrestling again. Um, Usually that's what it means. I think Bubba's officially retired as well. So, um, but yeah, yeah,
All
that
right.
was good. I thought it was good for what it was.
And then you had the main event, which was for the TNA World Championship. You had Trick Williams as the champion versus Mike Santana. And again, there's a lot of hype around this match for obvious reasons. And I thought both men pulled it off. I thought it was a really, really good match. Um, there was, the spot outside of the ring where Trick is getting in Mike Santana's daughter's face. And his daughter actually slaps Trick, which, again, to her credit, she's a kid. So I guess you can't really expect, her to give a really good work slap, but she slapped Trick and then Trick sold it and then went back into the ring. Santana bled, so it added more to the match. And I thought there were some good false finishes. There was even the spot with the lawyer, Trick Williams' lawyer. And, Mike Santana beat him up. And in the end, Santana got the win as he should have. He beat him. He beat Trick Williams to become the TNA World Champion. And I'm not gonna lie, I choked up a little bit because of just how far Mike Santana has come. And in the ring, he celebrates with his daughter, and it means a lot because Santana, he's been through so much in his career. He started out for the most part as a tag team guy, and then went to AEW, and what happened there, and he decided to bet on himself and be a single star, and it paid off. And now he's the TNA World Champion. What are your thoughts on that?
Very much deserved. He took a bet on himself, left AEW, came to TNA, and really just really made it into his own. So very, very happy for him, much deserved, and TNA didn't screw it up for once. So they absolutely the right decision, and this is the right guy to carry your brand through next year.
All right. So that was Bound for Glory. Overall, how would you rate the show?
7 out of 10.
Yeah,
Good show.
about the same. Very good show.
You have a match of the year in there, candidate. So
Oh yeah, and then you had a big moment, with the Dudleys and the Hardys, with the Dudleys retiring. So that was a big moment. Um, we're kind of going over time. So NXT was pre-taped on Tuesday. So the big moment coming out of there was Matt Cardona uh, wrestling on the show and wrestling Josh Briggs, and he lost, which I thought was pretty bold. They want to make Josh Briggs a thing, so cool. Um, and then Tatum Paxley won a battle royal to face JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship at Halloween Havoc. So yeah, good for her because I love Tatum. I'm a big fan of Tatum. Um, I don't think she'll win, but it's a good moment for her. So I was happy when she won. But that's. I mean, do you have any closing thoughts on NXT?
nah, you pretty much covered it.
Okay. I guess we can close the show out with some releases that happened over the weekend on NXT. I have them right here. The big name is Wesley, which I was a little bummed out by because I've been very high on Wesley. I think you like Wesley as well. Um,
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's been hurt or if they just decided to just plain give up on him, or maybe it was mutual. I don't know, but um, I was bummed out also because I heard the news about the Rascals contract expiring, so I was thinking like, oh, could there be a Rascals reunion in NXT? And I mean, I think there still could be one, just not in NXT. But yeah, Wesley, that kind of broke my heart a little bit because Wes, when his partner got fired, like that could have been a make or break situation, and you know, usually when tag teams get split up, not everyone can be a Shawn Michaels, not everyone can be a Jeff Hardy or an Edge or Christian. Um, in this case, Wesley ended up becoming a really good over babyface, having really good matches on the show. And, he was, people would consider him the greatest North American champion of all time. And, some might agree. And I think when he became a heel, that's when it kind of went downhill a little bit because I don't think people bought Wesley as a heel. He just sounded too much like a nice guy playing a bad guy role. And again, I don't know where he's been lately. But yeah, he's gone. Sucks, but I don't know. Like, I can see him going back to TNA, reforming the Rascals. But how do you feel about Wesley getting released?
I don't want to see anyone fired, let go, especially it's a very talented wrestler like Wesley. Um, he deserves to be in NXT, and I'm bummed that he um I'm bummed that he got let go. But when he turned heel, I won't say that was the beginning of the end, but it was the beginning of the end for him. Unfortunately, they put the guy on fucking what they end up putting him like on like they put him on TNA. I think they even put these guys on Evolve. Like that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah,
So he's gonna do well wherever he goes. He may go back to TNA for all we know, you know. But very very bummed. Hopefully he bounces back on his feet.
yeah, of course. I think he'll do well. Other names, he had Stevie Turner, who was I think the GM of Evolve, and she was also working with Robert Stone as Ava's counsel. Um, I always find it weird whenever they release people that are doing things. Like, and that's not even to say like Stevie Turner was gonna light the world on fire, but like she at least had a role on television at least. But I don't know, we'll see. Um, Lance Anoa'i, which was kind of weird because he had
Like,
been signed with the company for a year and didn't do anything, and then they released him anyway. Again, I don't mean to laugh at it, but it's one of those things of just like you had this guy on contract for a year and didn't do anything. But I don't know, thoughts on that.
um, I mean, it's unfortunate, but hopefully, the, these guys find work, and hopefully they are able to, get back on their feet.
Sure. Jen Tala, who was I think she was the tall, muscular Asian chick. Um, she got let go as well.
Yeah,
Draco Knox, who's that? Draco Knox. Do you know who that is?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Okay,
Do you know who he is? Like, I don't know.
Draco Knox. Let me look that up.
It's a good name. I like the name.
Draco Knox. Oh
I mean, I don't think it's that important.
no, yeah, yeah, I can see why they didn't. They released. Again, I don't mean to brag on the guy. Hayes Jameson. Hayes Jameson. He. Oh, it was a girl.
I mean, we could just go through these names because these names have no importance to WWE whatsoever.
Summer Sorrell, Jamar
So,
Hampton.
I just hope that all these names.
Go ahead.
No,
Dude, you're cutting out.
hopefully they don't quit wrestling. And well, no, I think you're cutting. I think you're on audio delay.
Okay.
Um, but I would just say that I hope that they get back on their feet. Hope they don't quit wrestling, and hopefully they are that they end up going somewhere and becoming a name. I really hope so. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys they end up getting released and just end up quitting wrestling. Some of these guys got talent. They just probably just gotta go to other places to really show their talents.
All right. Braden BJ Ray, who was on LFG. He was kind of a controversial name because he would get into fights, quote unquote, with the trainers. And he put on his Instagram at Tony Khan, pretty much like, "Hey, call me." So again, I've never seen the guy, so I really have nothing to add to that. Other people, Kylie Ray, she got released. Well, after it's fucked up. She got released after she announced that she was pregnant. So that's really fucked up on WWE's
I
part.
I don't get that. I really don't get that there.
Yeah,
Like what did she do to deserve to get released? She was their champion for in Evolve.
I got enough. I can't. That's not even something I can try to justify. Like I'm like that's sketchy. That's weird. Unless it was like a mutual thing, but I can't imagine Kylie Ray is like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. By the way, release me." So that's weird. That's kind of
I'm pretty sure she wanted to get I'm pretty sure she wanted to get money while she was pregnant. I wouldn't know why she wanted to get released and not get paid.
no. I'm agreeing with you. I still think it's fucking weird. Lastly, Ridge Holland announced that WWE will not be renewing his contract. Um, and pretty much just put on that, he's currently hurt and WWE is not going to renew it anyway while he has a family of five to take care of, which again is fucked up in hindsight when you think about it. Um, my biggest issue with this is not so much Ridge Holland himself. It's we've talked about this countless times on about different topics. Is these fake ass fans who are all of a sudden Ridge Holland fans, who now it's like, oh, Ridge Holland, he deserves better. Ridge Holland, blah blah blah. It's like, you lying motherfuckers. You were the same fuckers who said this guy sucks, who were sending him death threats because of when he injured Big E. Now all of a sudden you're Ridge Holland fans because he's getting his contract not renewed. Fuck all of you. Like seriously, fuck all of you. You fucking fake fucks. Like Jesus Christ.
These are the same people that wanted Rich Holland fired because of what happened with the accident with Big E. So which one is it?
Again, it's just people. They're only doing it because they're pissed off at WWE. Like it's just it.
Well, they're doing it to get Twitter engagement. That's what they're doing it for. They're not doing because they actually care about the guy. They're doing it for fake Twitter engagement and trying to, get new followers or whatever.
Yeah, Uh, and the sad thing is these are the same people that have more followers and uh, have have more subscribers on YouTube. Like the same ones that yell woke into the camera and call everything woke and say everything's DEI and fuck WWE. I hate WWE. Triple H sucks. Triple H should get fired. Yada yada yada. It's like you can't win with these fucking people. But seriously, they can all get fucked. Like seriously, get fucked anally and orally. But that is pretty much the show. That's pretty much everything we have. aside from some audio hookups. I think it sucks because this is the better laptop, but I'm having problems with it. So I think I might have to switch back to the old laptop, which, for as slow as it is, it worked better. But aside from some audio hookups, that was the show. But I want to thank Justin for coming on and or being on the show and making it work the way it does. So thank you, Justin. And thank you to everyone
Absolutely.
else for showing up. Kyle, Maurice, or anyone else who's here in the chat. Um, let's see, DY Experience on Twitter. Um, YouTube, the YouTube channel, we had some more followers. We got bumped up to 169. So cool. Trying to get those numbers up as usual. And like I mentioned the previous week, I recently activated something on Spreaker called the Supporters Club. So basically, it's just no rush, but it's just $3 a month. You just pay a fee, and I mean, not to say that you'll have to do that with Spreaker, but like Spreaker's still free. But like if you want, like let's say you wanted extra content, which in the future we're gonna start putting in some extra content. For just $3 a month, and $3 a month goes a long way. It actually goes towards our ad program. So whatever we make on supporters club goes towards our ad program. So I put the link in the chat room. So yeah, just $3 a month, no rush, no pressure. And like I mentioned, Spreaker is where you can listen to the show, iTunes, Spotify, and
Does it show how many people like let's say when people show up, does it show like how many people are signed up?
yeah, it'll show you how many supporters there are. Like I'll get an email saying
Okay.
somebody signed up. Blah, blah, blah. But
Do
Justin,
we have any supporters yet by chance?
not yet. But
Oh, okay.
but like I
Well, we'll
meant,
get there.
but like I mentioned, the link to sign up is in the chat room. So scroll up. But Justin, go ahead and plug Spymaster Tees.
Yeah, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get it shipped out to you. It takes about a week and a half to get there to you to your home, to the lower 48 in the United States. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Follow me on there. You can see everything that I get inside my shop, new product, all that there at Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. And I'm also, of course, my physical location, Spinebuster Tees at Wonderland Mall here in San Antonio, Texas. Come and get yourself a t-shirt. Come and get yourself an action figure, Funko Pop. Now I'm selling tumblers, custom tumblers now. People were asking for that, so I obliged. So come in there, come and get yourself anything at Spinebuster Tees on at Wonderland of the Americas, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram, and spinebustertees.com.
Yes, sir. All right, people. That's the show. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Uh, like I mentioned, me and my friend Anthony are going to be doing the basketball podcast, so look out for that. And then, of course, Friendly Neighborhood Marks with me and RJ. I need to talk to him and see when the next show is. And Culture Attack with Ruben. I need to talk to him and see when that show is. And oh yeah, next Saturday will be Halloween Havoc. So me and Jeff will be covering that. I'm not sure if RJ will be joining. I'll need to ask him about that. But all right, people, we're done. Peace out.
That was a quick ending.
Yeah, had to be quick.